get ready to speak at uh, TSP Live. Why did I almost say Fun Mac Live? But first, your girl went to the gym because that is what I am supposed to do. So I went to the gym, and as you all know, for the next 90 days or so, good morning, I am prepping for speaking at Cash Live as well. I have a couple of speaking engagements. My gym time just because I had to speak. So I went to the gym, I spoke, I listened to this incredible book about the history of Black entrepreneurship called Black Fortunes. If you followed me for any number of time, you know that I promote that book religiously because it's such a good book. And I was in the gym, I was listening to that book, I was preparing for my talk, and I was like, okay, I think I know a little bit more about what I'm going to speak about. So in terms of my process for speaking, y'all, I prepare my slides. I have an outline of my talk, but I pray about how to start and end it, if that makes sense. And so I don't quite know exactly how I'm going to start or end this talk just yet. Um, but I think I know it'll be really, really, really powerful. A lot of my colleagues have already spoken and they've crushed it. Like, so good. I've been in my seat, baby. I didn't want to miss a session. It was so good. But I feel that what I bring to the stage is like every stage has a different purpose, over and beyond my slides. Like if I have to just totally skip my slides, I will. But there's some things that I know I have to do just out of my obligation to the organization. But I'm always prayerful that I get to bring something different to it. And one of the things I'll tell you guys is when you are at the stage in your life, and I don't know how many of you all are there, but if you're there, just drop you're talking to me in the comments. If you're at the stage of your life, good morning, Marley from Jamaica. If you're at the stage of your life where you're like, I want everything optimized, like you're really ready to go for everything, like you want everything optimized, then go for it. You know what I mean? Go for it. Because if you don't, you'll literally never know. And I was talking to someone that was literally shackled by fear yesterday. And we were just talking about something, and I was like, look, I'm going after every dream and I'm not afraid of what it costs. And she was like, if you're not afraid of what it costs, what if it costs you everything? And I was like, well, if it, I mean, I was like, honestly, what's crazy is I don't even think like that. The main thing that I'm concerned about on a day to day basis is that when I make decisions, I'm not handing the keys to my life over to fear. I'm not handing the keys to my life over to doubt. I'm not handing the keys to my life over to insecurity. Even if I feel fear, I feel doubt, and I feel insecurity, I'm not handing the keys to my life over to those emotions. And the truth of the matter is, if you do, I mean, your results will be fearful. You'll live your entire life in what if land. And who wants to do that? I think there's just so much freedom in knowing that whether I make the right decision or the wrong decision, even if I'm not powerful to recover from anything, God is always powerful enough to recover from anything. So why would I live in fear? That's not even my obligation. So I feel that there is a couple of messages that are needed from today. I'm going to talk about how any entrepreneur can make money from speaking. Eventually, it'll be on my YouTube channel, so I'll let you guys know when that drops, so you all will see it. But also, um, I'm going to talk about how you just can't let fear make your decisions. You just can't. And here's my hypothesis. My hypothesis is fear is a byproduct of systemic racism. My hypothesis is one of the most lasting effects of slavery, most lasting effects of Jim Crow, most lasting effects of um, the race riots is a perpetual and perpetuated fear that if I get too big, if I get too strong, if I play too far out, if I do these things, I will be then allowing myself to be in danger. And it's not a flawed concept. It's not a flawed concept because check this out. Check this out. I was wondering how many Black businesses were burned down by race riots, and there were about 600 in Tulsa. There was another riot in Springfield, Illinois, that burned down about 35 Black businesses. The reason why most people think Madam C.J. Walker was the first Black millionaire was because she was the first Black millionaire to own and flaunt her wealth. Millionaires before her had been trained and conditioned, Black millionaires before her had been trained and conditioned not to do that. They've been trained and conditioned not to do that. They've been trained and conditioned to hide it. And in fact, they had to do that if they were going to even have wealth. Some of the economic opportunities in this country is former Black millionaires before Madam C.J. Walker had to hire white folks to make trades and investments on their behalf, to buy property on their behalf so that they wouldn't be lynched or killed or their businesses burned. And so a part of our fear, and you're like, Ashley, I know, but like that was so long ago. We don't have that happening today. There's a book called Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And one of the things that she says is that our cells remember, is that our cells remember, like we innately remember certain fears, which is why we do certain things because it is from slavery. One of the things that slave got in trouble for the most was talking back. So it's no wonder that a lot of Black people still don't want to talk up, still are trying to hide. And I hate that for us. And I hate that for us. And when I read about Mary Ellen Pleasant and I read about these other incredible Black entrepreneurs, one of the things that's interesting about Mary Ellen Pleasant is she actually was born Mary Ellen Williams. And Mary Ellen Williams is my maiden name is Williams. And one of the things about her is she was born free. And when I think about that, and I think about how she thought and how she moved in business and how she did things and the things that she was able to endure, it reminds me that your environment really does matter. She was born free. She moved a little different. She moved a little different. And so I just know for a fact that, and honestly, I think that we don't know enough about our history. So when I was gonna say idiots, y'all. I'm so unfiltered. It's too early to be filtered. So when people try to convince you, when people try to convince you that you can't do certain things, that you can't go certain places, that you can't get to certain heights. If we don't know our history, it's hard for us to say, well, of course I can do that. Why wouldn't I post on social media? Ida B. Wells wrote 4 huge publications and they were about lynching. She risked her life to publish. How could I not risk embarrassment to post? Like it's so much easier. I mean history. I mean American history. I mean Black history. I mean, first off, Black history is American history. The first person to found a public school in California was a Black man. That's American history. He received a substantial amount of land because he moved to the part of California that was still under Mexican rule at the time. Eventually, he switched sides and became an advocate for America. And then America gave him some political capital to wield his powers with. And he was still one of the largest landowners in California. But if you don't know your history, you don't know that owning land has always been revolutionary for us. I think that it's American history, but I also think that it's important that we know what we are to do. A part of being an expert is being willing to study beyond your expertise to make sense of your expertise. That is a part of being an expert. A part of being an expert is being okay with doing more work than it is required for you to reach your end goal and your end result. Does that make sense? And so there's 3 things that I study. A lot of people are like, oh, how are you so good at sales? I study history because I don't want to let any weak excuse keep me from going after my goal. And the more I know about what people did before me to overcome it, the less excuses I'm able to make. I study science because I want to understand how people are wired to think so that when we're doing rewiring, it makes sense. And then I study the Bible because when people act within their character, I won't go off. And so I would recommend to any entrepreneur that you study those 3 things and you do it in a way that makes sense for you so that you can keep going. You need something to pull from when you want to start making excuses and giving up on yourself. You need something to pull from when you are ready to quit, but you know that you shouldn't. You need something to pull from, and what you're pulling from can't just be what you already know. It's going to have to be deeper than that. And I just feel like we give up too soon because we don't know everything that we can about why we're doing what we're doing. And we don't know enough about how to get to the next level because we don't study enough. And many of us will study harder for our degrees than we will our businesses. When you can't hand down a degree, but you can hand down a business, we'll invest more in a piece of paper that we get from a school than we will in our businesses. But you can't hand down that piece of paper from a school, you can hand down your business. And I think education is amazing. I've been saving for Christelle's college since I think before she was born. But college and law school at Northwestern, obviously, because where else would she go? I mean, maybe she could go to like Harvard or something. But anyway, I've been saving for it. And that's great, but you can't pass down a degree. You can't pass down your business. So I'm speaking today at TSP Live. I already worked out. So, I'm traveling with you guys over the next 90 days on my health journey. I haven't weighed myself in a while, so I don't know how much weight I've already lost at this point, but I know it's a lot because my body looks like it already is looking very different just from doing this. I am hungry. I do miss flavor. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually doing like just vegetables. Um, I'm doing just vegetables. Hey, Kenya. It's good to see some folks from Kenya in the building this morning. So I'm doing raw vegetables. Last I checked, I was down 12 pounds in June alone. I haven't checked my weight again though, so we'll see. I'll probably be down some more. And this morning I'm speaking at TSP Live, which I can't wait for. I'm really excited about, and I already went to the gym. So at this point, it's just time to rock and roll. And y'all, we're 90 days out from Speak Your Way to Cash Live. We have people come every year from all over the world, including last year we had someone from Nigeria. So Kenya, you should definitely come and be in the building. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get ready to do my thing. I speak this morning, but thank you guys for watching and share it with a friend. And if you're not already on the wait list for Speak Your Way to Cash Live, you should be. And I'll see you there.